Bye bye, little Sebastian. Oh, we started. Miss you and your satisfaction.
How many times have you seen that show?
We're watching Parks and Rec, and this will be my probably third time through it.
Do you watch it with every girl you date?
No,
because
I've only watched it alone. I think.
Uh-huh.
Maybe with one other person.
I knew it.
But it's Mac's first time watching it, I think.
It is. So I didn't know that song. When he started singing, I was like, oh, what is this? Sounded like Matchbox 20.
Did it, though?
Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe a little bit of Chris Daughtry there.
Chris Pratt singing about a little horse.
Who passed away. His name's Little Sebastian, if you didn't pick up on that.
But we're back. Two-Pack Tabor Podcast, episode 9, I believe.
Cranking it.
Follow us on, not Twitter, Jesus.
Twitter.
TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, all on the same handle, at Two-Pack Tabor. Like, subscribe, comment.
Like, subscribe, comment. You should have those things appear across the screen. We're trying to
pump out these episodes a little more regularly. Maybe one on the weekend, maybe one during the week.
Yeah.
But we just been trying to be consistent.
We've also had some guests on. Yeah. This is like the first time in a hot minute that we've been just alone, and I feel like I don't know what to talk to you about.
This is our first recording doing it without somebody in like 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm. It's almost weird because I feel like we've been spending so much time with other people lately that like I don't know how to be alone with you.
I feel like maybe we haven't really talked about ourselves. We have some new listeners. 5 new subscribers on YouTube.
I thought you said we didn't have any.
We have 5.
Those 5 people really want to know about us.
But some good listens on in the analytics department. A lot of new ears. And maybe we should talk about ourselves a little bit so they can get to know us.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah.
I do feel like at some point when we are recording these, I should probably get ready and not wear my Christmas pajama pants and your sweatshirts with the beanie.
Yeah, you look the same on every episode, right?
Yeah. I might
my beanie, my hoodie.
My pajama pants, they're Christmas.
No one
they have
can
little
see those.
Bulldogs on them.
Throw your leg up.
I can't. My flexibility's gone.
What do you think about that? We talk about ourselves today. I mean, organically, it's probably come up in some of the episodes, obviously, about our past.
Yeah.
Like with relationships, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Mackenzie Hope Foss.
You're throwing my whole name out there?
Oh, sorry.
That's like my whole name. Give my social security number while you're at it.
I don't know it.
Thank
Mackenzie
God.
Hope Foss grew up in Rockford, Michigan. Beautiful, beautiful area.
Why are you saying it like it's not? Like it actually is a really nice area. It's like the Upper East Side of New York, but like of Grand Rapids.
It though?
No, it's not. But it is really nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It is nice.
Mm-hmm. Paul grew up in California for 12 years and then moved to Kalamazoo.
Wait, I was on you.
Oh, I thought we were just like going back and forth.
We can go back and forth. I don't care. But you grew up there, born in 1900-something. Got a mom, got a dad.
Born in the century after you.
Got a little brother.
I do.
What was growing up for you like up in Rockford?
I think it was normal. I mean, yeah, it's weird. I swear. Okay, so I've always wanted to go to a therapist or like a psychologist or something and get like put under hypnosis because I don't remember my childhood.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot either.
You don't?
I just remember like...
Yeah, but you can tell me like, oh, teachers got mad at me when I was younger because all the kids want to be my friend. I don't remember past second, like before 2nd grade. I remember tidbits of first, maybe like random moments, like one to 5 events maybe. But before that, nothing. No recollection.
I remember like a little bit of early kindergarten and a little bit of preschool. Like whatever preschool was, but not like conversations or specific... words, just images, I guess.
I don't know if I remember that.
You don't remember kindergarten?
No, I can only think of one instance, and it was sitting on one of those blue mats, that has all the numbers on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting next to a boy, and his name was Logan.
What's up, Logan?
Well, Logan actually went to jail.
Damn it, Logan.
For shaking his baby like last year.
I know. Jesus.
I know.
People are going to look through your socials to see if they can find him.
He won't be on there.
Okay.
I mean, again, kindergarten.
So he's in prison for trying to kill his kid?
I think so. I think
Shout
prison.
out. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't shout him
Is the kid
out.
okay? Is the kid okay?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I think the baby's all right. But I know it was kind of crazy because I was like, just this guy just, I knew of him, like obviously I knew him when I was younger. We were like, you know when you have like the kindergarten, like, oh, we're holding hands and we're best friends. Yeah, he was like that person. But he was like very quiet, and I did not see that coming. But yeah, my mom's like one of those people who like sends me updates on people in high
Right.
school. She's like, look at this. And I'm like, oh God.
Look, she got fat.
Pretty much. She's like, oh, did you see her? She's terrible. She's like, oh, I think this is going on. I'm like, why are you so invested in this?
Why do you think you don't remember a lot? Is there trauma?
Probably is. I don't know though, because I feel like I know you say this a lot. You're like, oh, they haven't been through anything hard in their life. Like I could say the same thing about myself. Like I don't think I've been through anything like hard. You know what I mean? Like I had a brother who passed away.
Yeah. Wait, he would have been older than you?
Yeah, so it's not like it affected, like my parents obviously affected them. And like, that is why I have the middle name Hope, is because my mom wasn't supposed to be able to have other kids after that whole situation. But it's not like I knew him, you know, when he passed away. It's not like I can really.
How old was he when he passed?
Not old. I would say like didn't even make it out of the hospital.
Oh.
I mean, it wasn't like, maybe it was days or weeks, I'd say.
You don't know?
No. I mean, I don't know. We never talked about it as a kid, family. You know, we had like this box that had all of his stuff in it.
Oh, you still do? She still does?
Yeah, my mom still does like all of the things because like, I mean, it was still like their kid was born.
So you don't know what he passed away from?
I do. It's what is that disease you can get as a pregnant woman?
It's not SID. Well, that's sudden.
No, it's you know what I mean? Like you can get it from eating bad food.
Oh, yeah. Does it start with a T or a P?
Okay, that's a lot.
Something like that. Let me look this.
Quick look it up. But yeah, she had whatever that was and passed it on. Obviously, you can pass it on to your unborn child, and she did, and he was born.
Oh, it's like contagious?
From mom to unborn baby. Yes.
Oh.
It's like pretty rare actually, but because of that, there's complications with
Let me see here.
her in general, and she was told that if she ever went into labor again, that she would pass away from.
Yeah. I'm not finding it.
Okay, but someone will have to tell us what it is. Or I can look it up after. But she was told she'd pass away again, or pass away if she ever went into labor, and that she would probably never be able to get pregnant again. So then 2 years later, when she got pregnant with me, I was very, very much a preemie because she couldn't even get to the point where she would accidentally go into labor because she would die. So they had to do a C-section early on, and that's how I got my middle name Hope.
Dang.
But it's not like that. That's not hard on me. You know what I mean?
Do you think it affected you in some way were you guys like sheltered?
I don't think so. Like, not that I can remember being sheltered at all.
Really?
No.
Because your mom is pretty like, she likes her ways and she likes to be in control kind of.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And you like to be in control as well.
Yeah.
So you don't think she liked that to do that when you guys were kids?
I think she did. I think that, yeah, but not in the way that's like, oh, I couldn't play outside with the other kids kind of thing. But I do think my mom definitely has had like a hand in the pot with everything that we did as humans. But nothing like traumatic that I can think of. I mean, probably the hardest thing that I went through was my eating disorder. But that's like when I was older, you know.
When did, we haven't talked about that on here, I don't think, have we?
I don't think necessarily, no.
I guess with eating disorders, what I don't understand is like, is there an event that triggers it like day one? Or is it slowly build?
I don't think anyone wakes up one day and is like, I'm going to have an eating disorder.
No, not that you're going to have one, but like something happened where you're like, oh, I'm going to change my eating in some way today.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like not that I can remember per se. I think it was a chain of events. Obviously, like I think a lot of people in our generation grew up with what now people say is like almond moms.
Oh yeah, I've heard.
You know what I mean? Like they were very conscious about like it was more the way they talked about themselves and the way that they fed their families. Like my mom was very much like everything has to be non-fat. Like just the way she ate was very like pick and choose and like almond mom characteristics, and I grew up around that, but I didn't necessarily think that it affected me in any way because I never like watched what I ate in high school. I was just a normal kid who played sports and, you know, did whatever, ate the $10 pizza boxes from Pizza Hut. But I think when I went to college, and you had to start picking foods for yourself, I started picking like obviously the same things I ate growing up. But then I don't necessarily think that was like, oh, full blown eating disorder just because I picked these necessarily, like had these unhealthy relationship with food. I think it was more, and I think this might be true for a lot of people who go through eating disorders. It is like, oh, you're looking for control in some place. And when you feel like you don't have control, whether that be you feel like you don't look a certain way, or you feel like you have a lot of stress or anxiety, or things are spiraling out of your control in your life just in general, you look for ways that you can bring that back. And for me, I mean, yeah, there was always that stemming of like, obviously there is a very, not materialistic, what is the word for it? Like superficial. Oh. There's obviously a superficial situation or tendency to it because obviously you do care about the way you look. But I do think a lot of it stemmed from like, if I couldn't control certain things in my life, at least I could control how much I exercised and what food I ate and when I ate it and like all those other things.
Was there something in your life that, why were you trying to gain more control? What was out of control in your life?
I mean, I think I would say my eating disorder stemmed back to like 2013 is I think when it started. If I had to like really look at it. I was on a cheerleading team. There was a lot of unhealthy behaviors around that. We had strict regimens with like what you ate, what you weighed, the way that the men on the team and the coaches would treat you depending on that. Like we would have these crazy things called sports bra practices. And basically we were told, and I quote, we had to, all the women on the team, it was a co-ed team, had to strip down to like spandex, so like Spankies. A lot of times they're like underwear or like super, super short, like booty shorts in your sports bra. And we had to run around the basketball court at the university. There was like a track around it.
Yeah.
And we had to run around that. And we were told the reason that we were doing it is because the coaches didn't want to tell us we were fat. They wanted us to feel fat while we wore those kind of outfits.
That's rough.
Yeah. And so anyone over a certain weight too, had to, like, there were certain girls on the team who were put on plans, food plans, and had to like report to the coaches. I was not one of those girls, but like you still feel that effect, I guess, from like other people on the team. But as far as like control wise, I think it's just easier sometimes when you're looking for a way to cope with like your anxiety. It's really easy to, like, just in general, I'm a very anxious person. I have generalized anxiety disorder. It's easier, instead of like, I don't know, I don't hibernate in my room all the time, like, and get really depressed. Sometimes I'm like almost OCD, I think.
Right.
Yeah. But
wait, during those practices, could other people see you, like other people that were at the gym, see what you guys were doing?
Yeah, I mean, well, anyone can walk into like the basketball arena.
Yeah.
Right. At like a university, any of the students could, but I mean, our practices were pretty late on like random nights of the week. So it's not like there were people in there. It was pretty much just us.
And you were secretly dating that coach?
No.
Oh.
No, I was secretly dating my cheerleading coach at the university I went to after.
Okay.
After that one. I spent 2 years at one university and then I switched to the next one. And then that's when I started secretly dating my coach, which probably also added to it. Cause I feel like that's when it like.
Was that its worst?
I think it got it its worst. Yeah. In like, I would say 2015 to 2016-ish, it probably got to its worst. And I definitely was having a lot of issues with feeling inadequate in areas of my life, including the sport that I was doing. It was very competitive, and and you know as much as I do, I don't handle not being good at things.
No, you don't.
At all.
No.
Or like not even just like not being good, but like not being the best. Like I hate not being the best at things. And
when we tried to play pickleball, it was just like,
yeah, it didn't go well.
You didn't know how to handle like, hey, let's just have fun.
I did know how to handle let's just have fun, but I felt like I still wanted to do good. Like it's not fun to not be good at something.
I know.
And that's not to say I wasn't a good cheerleader. I feel like I was a good cheerleader, but there's a lot of competition when you're on a college sports team. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, I did feel like I had added pressure because I was secretly dating the coach. And it's like, there's another level of expectation there where it's like.
Did he know about the eating disorder?
they did pull me aside once, the coaches did, which I actually will give them props for that, because there was another girl on our team who had such a bad, she was pretty deep in her eating disorder and ended up having to go home for a few months and be like, I don't know if she was hospitalized or, much of our story in that sense, but it was really bad. And the coaches didn't say anything, and we all could see it happening before she actually got that bad. So I will give them props. My coach, the male that I was seeing at the time, as well as the female head coach, did pull me aside, and they were like, hey, we're noticing some weird things with you. But
what was like your eating disorder specifically? Like under eating? Not eating?
Yeah, I definitely had over excessive exercising and anorexia for sure, which is not eating. It's not technically under eating. It's just literally whatever, manipulating food in that way. And I let's see. So then that was like, it definitely got bad then. I dated another, after the coach, which, that was wrong. I should not have dated the coach.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
When you're in college.
No. But I dated a guy after that, and he was very insensitive as well. He would say things to me like, you look like an Auschwitz. I can't say the word.
Auschwitz.
Patient. Yes.
Patient?
Or not patient.
Like a Holocaust survivor.
Yes, basically. Yeah. And things like that, which were just
That's messed up.
Completely messed up. And he would say it in front of other people too.
Jeez.
Or he would be like, you're skinny fat, which is like unlocking a new level of fear for someone like me in that situation.
Right.
Yeah, so very insensitive. But then we obviously broke up, and it got so bad to the point where like finally in 2018 or 19, I think it was 18, because that's when I started, like I had to go to recovery. I had to like crawl up the stairs because I didn't have the energy to walk, and I couldn't like stand in the shower because I just didn't have any energy to do that either. And then when I started having terrible pain, so I stopped cheering in 2016 is when I stopped cheering. 2017 or 2018, around that time, I was also having really bad pains. Well, I was having a bunch of different things happening where I felt like I literally was dying. Like everything was going bad. My eyes were sunken in. I was losing so much hair. My nails were breaking all the time. Like I was also growing hair, like weirdly.
Like in weird places?
Yeah, like I had peach fuzz everywhere.
Oh.
Which was like weird, just like not normal. And then I started having this terrible pain, and I wasn't a runner back then. I lifted very casually but like it wasn't like I was like heavy duty lifting at that point. And I couldn't get into bed without like, I had to lift my leg, like my knee, each time I got into bed.
Jeez.
Because it hurt so bad, and I would like cry and all this stuff. So I ended up finally making an appointment with the sports physician, and I went in, and he said that I had broken my patella.
What's a patella? Like
your kneecap.
shin?
Your kneecap.
Oh, yeah.
So he said it looked like I had gotten into a car accident.
Yeah.
Because I was so malnourished that like daily activities, I had broken it.
God.
Like it wasn't even from anything. Like it would be great if I could be like, oh, it was from all those years of cheerleading, which I still say to people because they don't exactly know how to explain like, oh, I just had so many holes in my bones from like not eating and basically having osteoporosis that like my kneecap just broke in half.
Yeah, and you're still feeling those effects today.
Yeah, I am, which is,
She has knee problems with running.
I do.
But so during college, were you able to get like some kind of help like through the university or outside of it? Like with that?
Oh, I did not get any help.
Oh, you didn't?
No. I didn't get help until after, God, it took a lot of people being like, there's something wrong. Like people would ask my parents, like, is she okay? And like, I had people reach out to me that I didn't really know very well over social media being like, hey, like, I think you might be sick.
Because you were posting photos on like Instagram and stuff?
Yeah, which they're not on there anymore, so no one can go looking for them because I unposted all those photos because nobody should. I don't like that kind of concept. But it took a lot of people, and finally I went to the doctor for a physical, and I was still suffering from so many weird things that just, it was not like my what is it called? Not like not cost of living. What is it like
What do you mean?
Not benefits of living. What is it like like when you have to put a dog down because like their living situation is not adequate anymore. What would you call that?
Like his
Quality of life.
Quality of life. Sometimes you say things, they throw me so far off
so
that
sorry.
I can't get back to a normal
I know.
thought.
Sorry.
Cost of living is economic.
I know. But my quality of life was
Yeah.
just so bad. And I was going in and out of doctor's offices all the time. But I finally went in and the doctor was like, so what's going on? And I just broke down bawling. I was like, I cannot live like this anymore. And she immediately assigned me to a social worker. And then obviously it says like in my files in my like health files, it says like history of eating disorder. So they won't weigh me. Like they usually weigh people. They won't ask. They will check on my weight. If my weight fluctuates in any direction, they will not say like, hey, you have an eating disorder again? No, but they'll say something like, there's some changes in your weights. Like, is everything going, like, are you still like getting, help? Are you still in therapy? I did go to like technically you could go inpatient, but I went to an outpatient place.
Right.
And that necessarily wasn't for me, but that's because it's really hard to get help at those kind of places without like with insurance, like no insurance is really cover it, which should be totally different. But but I didn't get help till after I was well into my adult years. It was 2018, 2019 at that point when I actually got real help. So I was living on my own, had my own house.
Do you still see remnants of your eating disorder like day to day now or in the past, even since I've known you in the last year?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's normal things that people can do who haven't had a history of like disordered eating or eating disorders that like I will never be able to do. Like I will never be able to like, I don't know, like I can't look at calories on things. I won't be able to count calories. I know there are times where like I am not good at fueling my body, but like for me, if I make a choice to skip a meal, like that is something I cannot do. Does that make sense? Or like, I don't like, there's just certain things that like, but I do notice it. It's hard. I mean, that's like, and it's like someone who has an addiction. That's why you go to like Eating Disorder Anonymous, because it's the same thing as like Alcoholics Anonymous. It is an addiction. You're addicted to those habits that you have and they're unhealthy, but they're coping mechanisms. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't really seen you be like, oh, I'm skipping lunch today.
No.
You just kind of graze throughout the day if you have to, but
yeah, I'll make sure I'm always eating. I will never go like a full day and be like, oh, I didn't eat anything today. And if I do, it's like
water, you will do that for some weird reason.
But that's not because it's like that.
Do you need like flavor? I don't understand. I really don't. Because water, you need it.
Yeah, but it's like
your body needs it.
Well, if my water bottle's not filled up.
Oh God.
Oh. I think I need one of those cool water bottles. I used to drink a jug of water.
Yeah, but you're not going to carry around a milk jug.
I did though, to an office.
You're not going to do that now.
Why?
Who wants to do that?
Cool?
You only did that because you were lifting weights and you're like, hey guys, look, there's electrolytes in this. Can't you tell? I'm getting huge. That's what bodybuilders
I put a
do.
whole thing of Mio in there.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think Mio is so bad for you. It gives you like brain cancer.
Really?
Red dye 40. Isn't that like something you shouldn't have?
I don't know. I never liked those powdered, whatever they're called, water flavorings.
Yeah.
Don't like them.
So you've asked me a lot about eating disorder type behavior. Do you ever have you ever suffered with anything like that?
No.
Maybe
I would say maybe even overeating a little bit, where I'm eating past when I'm full, just because like, I mean, I just like food a lot. And there was some periods like when I was a kid, not that we were like not fed or not taken care of in any way, but there was periods where it was like my dad would go away and maybe we wouldn't have a ton of money and like we would just eat hot dogs and like hot dog in a bun, or not like a bun, but like a piece of bread, like a piece of folded bread, and that was dinner. Stuff like that. So maybe sometimes I eat and I like eating out a lot.
You do like eating out a lot.
Probably because it just feels a little more luxurious.
Yeah.
And I just like the taste of food. I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, I know a lot about your childhood, obviously growing up, because you've shared it with me. But do you see any of that like transpire into some of the habits that you have now? Because you obviously you just said with eating, which I totally get that. Like if you had obviously not access to adequate food all the time, it'd be really easy to now at this point be like, oh, I love eating out because I didn't have that luxury as a kid. Like,
Yeah.
is there anything else you see with that?
No, well, I will say I don't even remember, other than fast food. Even when I lived in California, I can remember like one restaurant we would go to, and it was like the equivalent of Denny's.
Really?
Yeah, just like a hole in the wall type of breakfast and dinner place.
And when you say your dad went away, was it military, right?
No.
Or just he
like
would
when
work
he would
on the
travel
road?
for work, like
Okay.
for a long time. But I don't even remember going out to eat as a kid. We would probably have every meal at home, almost every meal.
Was it home cooked meals or was it a lot of like those?
Yeah, but like hot dogs and
Okay.
macaroni.
Yeah, that's what I was.
1990s type of food that everyone ate.
Yeah.
Hamburger Helper.
I love Hamburger Helper.
It's not good.
The stroganoff one's pretty good. I used to love it.
Ramen noodles. They're
Oh,
not
like
good.
the 90-cent ones?
Yeah, they're not good.
And
No.
now tonight you had real ramen.
Yeah, real ramen tonight.
Yeah.
I can't remember what you asked.
I was asking if there was like anything else that you think like you went through hard things. You've been through hard. Like I said, I don't think I would look at my life and be like, oh yeah, she went through some hard things. Like I look at your life and not in any sort of offense, but like you've told me a lot that's happened and I would be like, yeah, you've gone through hard things. Like is there other things that you've noticed as an adult now that are due to things that have happened in your childhood or in just like your adolescent?
I think moving around a lot as a kid, and not really a lot, because there's definitely people who move, probably obviously like military kids or, orphans, I don't know, that are bouncing around different homes all the time. But some significant moves and a couple of like, waking up and not knowing where I'm going to be the next day type of situations has made me reluctant to like settle down in a city or a place for a long period of time and like think about buying property or even calling it my home. It's weird because I'm just uncertain. My sister moved back to California. I always thought maybe I'll do that actually someday. That hasn't happened, but I moved to Pittsburgh for work, and even then I felt like maybe this will be an escape. I can actually go to a new place and I'll be happy. I wasn't happy for a second, just mostly because you don't just find happiness when you move somewhere. You have to be able to be happy wherever you're at. Side note. But yeah, I think moving around a lot as a kid and not having a completely stable home really oh my god, another stray cat.
You're lying.
No, I'm not kidding. A black one.
Where?
At the door.
I see your shadow of your
Dude,
things.
every episode.
I don't. Oh,
you don't see the
got it.
eyes?
Yeah, I do. It's staring at me.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna see if I can get him on camera.
No,
Yeah.
you gotta get him. We don't need to get him on camera.
Hold up.
Okay. Well, since you're getting him on camera, your
God, I was in a
stepmom
deep thought.
Well, your stepmom just texted, and I think. Oh, never mind.
Hang on. Oh, he ran away. He wanted food. Damn it.
That sucks.
Another cat.
Another cat. As he's
This is a
carrying the
fucking
microphone
shelter.
around. It is. It's because Paul was feeding them.
I know. He thought we had more food.
Your stepmom texted me, and I thought that she was going to say that your stepsister had her baby, but she didn't.
Oh,
She
yeah.
just wanted to know when we could do
My
Christmas.
stepsister Shelby is pregnant. Come
Yeah.
on, Shelby. Get that thing out.
You love to refer to babies as things, but what we were talking about anyway.
No, I'm just going to be watching for cats.
Stop watching for cats. But I know that you and I had gotten into a quarrel because
About what?
because I was kind of saying that you were squatting
Okay.
at my old apartment.
Yeah.
And I also have a tendency of when I get or when I would get upset to tell you like this is my apartment, so like you can leave.
Right.
And
Yeah, you're very, very possessive of things.
I am very possessive.
I just don't care for I just don't like that type of language personally, like when people are like my, just because I'm just used to not having a lot of things, and I guess being like sharing a little more in a weird way.
Yeah.
But
Which I share a lot of things.
no, I know
Yeah.
you do. I know.
But I'm also possessive because I don't think I was possessive until I was taken advantage of in my last relationship, where I
Sure,
felt
sure.
like all of the stuff that I had worked so hard for
yeah.
was like now this other person's and they walked away with it. kind of
Yeah,
thing.
no, that did happen, and I don't blame you in some way.
But I know that we talked about it because you said I've never had a place that was like I felt like it was mine.
Yeah, I mean, I have like had my own apartments, own rental spots, but
Yeah.
you know,
I mean,
those-
how do you feel about the fact that like we're living in this house and obviously this is roots, obviously, because it's a
Right.
purchased house.
right?
So it is roots, but two, was purchased by me
Yeah,
alone, I guess.
it
And
always feels. I don't know why. It just every time I go anywhere, it always feels temporary.
I don't like that. That
I
seems like
no,
bad.
I just it just in it. Not that I'm thinking that like day to day, like, oh, this is just a house I'm just gonna be squatting at for a couple of months.
Yeah.
It's just in my brain. It's just always in my brain.
When do you, like have you ever lived somewhere for like? I mean, you've
Yeah, yeah.
like for periods of time.
Yeah,
So like
of course. When I was a kid.
yeah, when you were a kid, is the last time you had like a long-standing
Yeah.
house? Okay. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense then, because I'm thinking like
since probably like 19. It's either been I've moved every year or every 1 to 2 years. Yeah.
that's like crazy though.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people do that.
I know, but I just like can't imagine at this point like we are living together in a house that's
Yeah.
been purchased.
And I know, and
And
I
in
feel
roots.
settled. I feel like, rooted here. It's just, I can't explain it. It's just in my brain.
Yeah, that just feel like that wouldn't make me feel settled.
It's not that. It's just like, if something was to happen where like, oh, I got to pick up and leave, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I'm just used to it.
So you have like an exit plan.
No, I don't. I really
Seems like
don't.
you have an exit plan.
I don't. I really, no.
You're gonna have to go live with Maura Bryan and their kids.
Yeah. Basements.
Basements.
No, I really don't, but I don't know. It's probably something I need to work through
Yeah.
and figure out why I can't. It's not that I can't be happy, but why I can't like be fully settled like mentally in a place. It's weird. But yeah, when I was 12, I came home from school one day, and when you grow up in your childhood home, the one you have your first memories from, you feel like you're going to be there forever, like forever.
Yeah.
I feel like every kid feels that way, at least. So we came home from school one day, and my dad and mom were like, we're moving to Michigan, kind of like out of the blue, I think, to my knowledge, because how else do you tell a kid like, hey, we're thinking about doing this? Because a kid's
You
gonna
can't
say
tell them
no.
until it's official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is that? What is, like, that's not a thing. You know what I mean? I grew up on the West Coast. To me, like, moving out here might as well have been Europe. You know what I mean?
Did you drive to move here?
No, we flew.
Or? Okay.
What's funny is we would drive to Toledo, Ohio, which is only 3 hours from here when I was a kid from California. But Michigan, again, I didn't have a concept in my head that was like right near here. Or
Yeah.
right near Ohio.
Right near Ohio, yeah.
But we flew here, and my dad, I remember telling me and my siblings that we would probably come back in like 2 years. I think he was just telling us that to like, so we could tell our friends, hey, this isn't permanent.
And also so you didn't feel like you were like
Yeah.
leaving everyone behind. Like,
Yeah. It was it was for sure traumatic, like for sure. At least for me, because I was the oldest. My sister probably has almost no memory. She was like 5. She probably has very little memory.
oh yeah, that would be the age you would
Yeah,
be.
my brother was
Yeah.
1 year younger, but yeah, it was
1
it
year
was-
younger than you?
Yeah,
Oh, for some reason I thought he would be like he was like
14 months.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
So we came here in 2001 and got into a rental house, and then they eventually bought like a homestead. And
Is that the same home that they're
Yeah.
in now? Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Mhm.
Okay, so you kind of had that place for a while.
yeah, I did. Never, but again, because my mom and dad growing up there were also pretty volatile, it always felt like, ooh, there was talks at some point we would end up in Pennsylvania, Canada, because that was like the track of the person at his job would always move to those places. Mm-hmm. And he thought he was going to have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So there was always like a weird feeling where it's like, oh, we could move at some point. But we never did.
So was some of the times you've told me where like your parents would argue and your mom would take you and your siblings, right?
That only happened once.
Okay.
That only happened. Oh, well, to my knowledge, in a drastic sense. Okay, camera died.
Anyway,
usual.
I was asking about
it only happened once where I was 9 years old, so my memory's very scattered, but we got up in the morning and I was in California at the time, and my mom just told us to get in the car, which wasn't normal because we would usually walk to the bus stop to get to school. So her telling us get in the car was like, what's going on? Next thing I know, we're at the airport, and she had a friend drive us there, and we are on a flight to Toledo, Ohio, which is where she grew up. It's where my grandparents were. It's actually where my dad grew up too, and his mom was, his parents. And we ended up living, so it was, I never really asked my dad about it, but I only remember me, my mom, and my brother. I don't know if my sister was there, but I'm assuming she was, but I have no memory of her.
Really?
So she took presumably all the kids to Ohio, and we stayed at her parents' house, and I do remember staying at like a women's shelter. To be honest with you, I don't even know why we were there. I still have no knowledge of why we were there.
And you've never talked to your dad about it?
Not really, no.
Why?
My mom at the time was like using drugs, and I'm assuming drinking. But I don't know if she was like scared to be in the house. But she was pretty erratic at that time. And when we were in Ohio, it felt like we were kind of on the run in a weird way. Cops were looking for her. She had a warrant out for her arrest for kidnapping. I think it was for kidnapping, obviously, because...
Well, yeah, she kidnapped you guys.
Yeah, for taking the kids across state lines. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming. I don't know exactly what the charges are. They found out where we were at her parents' house, which probably wasn't that hard. My dad just had to tell him, go look at the parents' house.
Yeah.
And we would hide when they would like knock on the door.
Like even her parents helped you guys hide?
See, I don't remember them really being around, which is weird. I'm sure they were there, but yeah, they would have helped because we got all the way there. What are they gonna be like? No, go back.
Yeah, true.
We can't flew across the country, and the only story they had was what my mom told them. So
did they know your mom was using drugs and alcohol?
Well, I'm sure because they kind of my grandpa would smoke weed a little bit, I think, and they would definitely both drink. But I'm sure they had an idea.
Mm-hmm. Did your dad use too?
No.
Oh,
No. Just drink.
Okay.
We then once they found out where we were at my grandparents' house, I know we ended up in a women's shelter because those, I believe, they have to stay anonymous.
Yeah.
You can't get an address to those.
Yeah.
That was quite an interesting experience as well. I don't have a lot of memory of it, just
because you were 9.
Yeah,
okay.
Just different kids. To me, it's just like kids adapt quick. I just ended up making friends there and playing with kids.
You went to school while you were there?
Yeah, I went to a Catholic school in Ohio for a little while.
So how long were you there for?
My memory would tell me like 1 to 2 months.
Oh, that's a long time to be away from your dad.
Yeah.
And you didn't think anything of like, where's my dad? Or were you just so used to him traveling for work that you're like,
no, he wasn't even traveling then.
Oh.
No. Yeah, I just had like a blind faith in my mom that, we were doing the right thing for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm only hearing her story. But we were there for 1 to 2 months. I was in, I was going to a school that wasn't great. I was like to what I remember, I was like the only white kid in my class, which is fine, but I had to like get tough pretty quick. Because I was by far the minority, like in my whole school.
Mm-hmm.
In Toledo. I mean, Toledo, has a huge African American population, being especially so close to Detroit as well. But after the 2 months, actually, I think I ended up going to 2 different schools there because they found out where I was. So I had to move elementary schools, whatever grade I was in. I think 3rd grade. Is that 9 years old?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
I'm not great with math.
I think it was 3rd grade.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up going to 2 different schools, again, living in a women's shelter. At some point, we headed back for whatever reason. I think my mom got sick of running from the cops. That's just what I'm just guessing.
Did she ever go to jail from that?
Yeah. So we got back. We took a train. I remember being on a train. I don't know if we took a train all the way from Ohio to California. I have no memory. We got off the train and basically like got swarmed.
Really?
That's what I remember. Like,
how would they know that you took the train back? Did she tell your dad like, "Hey, we're coming back"?
Yeah, or they can. Yeah, she might have turned herself in, or they can maybe track that from purchases.
Dang.
Potentially. Yeah, we got like swarmed. We got put in like, FBI type of black cars or whatever, and my mom got taken to jail. Couldn't tell you how long. Couldn't tell you if it was overnight or if she got released that same day. I don't remember. She went to jail a couple of times during her life. She died at 49. But
that's young.
Yeah, that was at the time not that traumatic, weirdly, but it's probably shown up in different ways in my adult life, I guess. I came home. I remember getting back to school and kids were like ecstatic to see me, and it felt weird because it's like I didn't really want to talk. I didn't want to tell them what happened. I don't think I ever told any of them what happened. No, they had no idea.
I mean, you're also a 3rd grader-ish?
Yeah, I can't remember. We had to give an excuse to like all our friends and family, and I can't remember what it was.
Oh, like you were told to lie, basically.
I think so. And I was told to do that a lot when I was a kid.
To lie? Yeah,
to protect our image, myself, that type of stuff, our family's image.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my recollection of it.
It's weird because like I've never met your mom, but I've met your dad, and I've been to the house that obviously they bought in Michigan, and it's very interesting to put that story to him. Yeah. Because he seems like a very normal, I mean, obviously he's remarried now. Seems like a very normal Midwest family. Like, yeah. It doesn't, like, I wouldn't ever have thought, like, oh, he was married and all this stuff went down. And, like, Yeah,
they got married young. They were both hot-headed kids. Mm-hmm. She liked drugs. She definitely abused substances, smoked cigarettes. He probably drank a little too much. He had a temper. I think when you're in your 20s and 30s, guys definitely are at a weird place where they're, and I was this way too, especially in my 20s, where you just get angry easily.
See, I feel like you are the most like grounded, patient, mellow-headed, like level-headed person.
Now I'm better, but God, it was just so easy to get angry like in your 20s because you're just confused at the world anyway. Yeah, but my dad, I think I see it in myself too now. Like you just get softer when you get older. I think. I mean,
I feel like you've softened up just in the time that I've known you. I feel like you've definitely opened up more and softened, because when I first met you, I could not crack you open.
Right.
And I asked you a lot of questions all the time.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not saying even like becoming more open, just being softer in the sense of like being nicer to people. Crying more often, not being so, I don't know, repressed in your feelings in a weird way. But
do you think you cry enough?
Probably not.
Do you-
I don't know. Are you supposed to cry like every day? Is that a thing?
I mean, I cry a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't.
You don't?
No.
I've only seen you cry like when we've had some fights,
Yeah.
but not when you're sad or like watching something on TV or something.
Except for when raccoons die.
Oh yeah, I have seen you cry
Yeah.
when raccoons have died.
No. In fights, I definitely cry because I panic. I panic and I go to like the worst case scenario whenever there's an argument. Like
Yeah.
I feel like, oh, end of the world. This is done. I got to start over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is obviously not good, but that's when I cry. I've only seen you cry
When my dog died.
once when your dog died. Yeah.
Yeah.
When Dodger passed away.
Mhm. Yep.
Which was really sad. But like, isn't it weird? It's kind of weird that I didn't like it, but like seeing you cry was like, oh,
I feel like women love when men cry.
I don't.
Honestly.
It wasn't that I loved when you cried, but
You
it was just like
did.
a little bit. Like when you cried, I was like, oh, I really love this guy
Yeah.
because I was like, oh, he's so, like, oh,
Yeah, and I think men have a hard time crying just because they think they're going to be viewed as soft.
yeah.
But I don't know any women that are going to be like, "Oh, he's a softie. He's not
Unless
masculine."
you're crying like all the time. If you cry like,
yeah.
and
yeah.
then it's not like I'm like, oh, he's a softie. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's melodramatic.
Yeah. Right.
But that's with anyone. That's with a woman or a man who cries.
Or they're using that as like a
Tool manipulation.
Yeah, a little bit of
I've heard of
manipulation.
that from men. Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
could see that.
My actually the cheer coach that I dated,
Mhm.
I still have a voicemail of him just bawling as a
How do
tool of
you
manipulation.
save a voicemail for years? Your
They
phone
just
doesn't
stay there.
delete it?
You know, does yours?
I think mine auto deletes after some time.
Oh, I don't have that on, I guess, because
Oh.
I have voicemails from like Nam. It seems like.
What?
Yeah, but this was 2015, 16,
Jeez.
and it's on my phone, and well, that's the issue. I was like looking at all my voicemails because that got full, and so I had to go delete them, and I was like, what the heck is this? Because obviously I don't have his number saved anymore. And it's just this grown man crying, and it was a tool of manipulation or a tactic
Yeah.
because we broke up because of many things, but one of those things was he was physically and mentally abusive,
Yeah.
and I had finally had enough, and I broke up with him, and it was his way of being like, I'm so sad, take me back, I'll never do it again, blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's definitely manipulation.
Yeah, when you cried, I was like, oh, Paul.
Yeah, it was sad.
Yeah,
My BFF died.
I thought I was your BFF.
Well, you are now.
it
Since
took
he's been gone.
it took Dodger passing for me to level up
Yeah.
to that.
It did.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, growing up in California was pretty rough, and it didn't necessarily get better when I got here. In terms of their relationship, there was moments I saw them happy, like literal moments, but it wasn't like ever prolonged.
Did they show a lot of affection in the house to you guys or to them or to each other?
My mom did to the kids. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. My mom did. My dad, not so much when we got older. When we were younger, he did.
What about your dad to your mom or your mom to your dad?
Not so much.
No.
I have like flashes of like, oh, I remember this time when they were, but
Do you think
not outwardly?
Do you think that the way that you
Frequently.
saw them treat each other has affected like your viewpoint or like your viewpoint on relationships or like the things that you value and desire in a relationship in any way?
It doesn't really. I think it's affected me becoming open to people. Maybe, like my partner.
Why?
Because I don't know. I guess I was always worried about getting into a relationship like that. That was volatile.
But
And
why would you think like being open with your partner was going
I
to
don't
create
know.
that?
I didn't have the right tools or education or life experience to think anything other than shutting down and,
Mhm.
just being just a guy would,
Yeah.
that's the best way to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just being a basic guy
Yeah.
in a relationship is the best way to navigate that. And that's what a girl wants. I don't know. It's weird.
When you shut down, it makes me more angry.
Yeah, I mean, right. Guys don't like opening up. Not all guys. Some guys do, but I feel like it takes time to get there. I feel like it's just not going to happen at a young age. for most.
Maybe
For
that's why I
most.
always date older men.
Oh, is that?
Yeah. I'm really bad at service level. I think I will say, like, I think one of my downfalls in dating, and you probably would agree with this, is that I do feel that, like, I need a different level of connection.
Yeah, sometimes you tell me I don't feel like we're connecting, and it's like, or no. Well, sometimes you'll just say you want more quality time, but like, I don't know. Like it confuses me
Yeah.
because I don't know what do you want to do? Go on a roller coaster and go to Ibiza?
No, I
You know what I
think
mean?
I really like that's why I like our podcasting time, because I like meaningful conversation where we're talking about each other to each other, and I'm asking you questions. Like, I want to be constantly getting to know the person that I'm with, because I do feel like no matter if it's days, weeks, months, years, when you're with someone, you're forever changing.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be consistently dating someone and getting to know them because they're changing. And I want to feel like you know me. Like
You say constant. You use the word constantly.
Yeah.
Do you think like that needs to be all day, every day?
No, it
Okay.
doesn't. But I do feel like it needs to be like, I don't want to get through a week and then I'm like, oh, we've had time together. Like, obviously we do run groups together. We sit on the couch and watch TV. The cats are crazy, but, and we do things together, but I don't want to get to like Sunday and then it's like, oh, like I had all these different like adventures and you don't know about them. Like, I spent time with so-and-so and we talked about this, and then
Right.
I bared my feelings to this person and that person. Like, I have these issues going on and I want you to know all that stuff because I don't want to feel like we're growing apart.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Just I feel like you know me well enough. You can just tell me those things too.
Well,
Right?
yeah, but sometimes I want to be asked
Yeah. No,
because I want
get
to
it.
feel like you want to know.
I do want to know the tea.
I always have tea.
Yeah,
The tea.
I like the tea.
I feel like this house is chaotic with all the cats.
Mhm.
And I never felt like that before, but I do feel like it is now.
They like to be around the humans at all times.
They do, and it's weird,
Mhm.
especially River, which is our baby, the
But-
baby cat. But today we had a moment
What do you mean?
where you found out that you have feelings for Frodo the cat.
Well, yeah, one of the cats got lost inside the house.
And Paul was like, I guess I'm really starting to like her.
Yeah.
Because he was like actually scared that we lost her.
She was in a place that she's never gotten lost or hidden in. So it
No.
was like,
And he was like, we have to find her.
yeah, it took
He was like, I'm going to
forever.
find her. We
I was,
need to go.
I was in the middle of eating my ramen, so I was very distraught. I needed to get back to my ramen. You know what I mean?
But we did find her. But I was like, oh, you like my cats.
They're okay.
You like them.
Yeah.
They're cute.
They're my new pets, I guess.
The day that we're recording this is the CIM Marathon, which
yeah.
is California International.
I guess we could talk about running.
Yeah, I think we should, just because it was a pretty crazy day. A lot of people had some insane races, and we had a watch party here with our team.
Mhm. Shout out to Jane Schneidel, Andrew Whitland, Alyssa
Alyssa.
McElhaney.
That was not the way you say your name.
How do you say her last name?
I'm not going to try because now I'm going to butcher
McElhaney.
it. McElhaney? McElhaney?
There's no R, is there?
McElhaney.
There's no R. McElhaney.
McElhaney.
Yeah. Alyssa.
Why am I putting an R
if
in
you,
there?
Alyssa, I know you're never going to listen to this, but correct us next time you see us.
Yeah, seriously. They all killed it, honestly. Jane went out there and she has had a pretty tough training cycle, so she just wanted to have fun and like kind of get back to the joy of running, which was really great to see. Andrew had an incredible race, executed it amazingly, had 2K left and had some pain and still bared through it and came out with a 2:34 or 2:33?
2:33.
2:33,
2 hours,
42 or
33
something.
minutes, yeah.
And then Alyssa, same thing, came out with a 2:41.
Nobody hit their
40.
Nobody really hit their A goals, which makes me like scared to run CIM in a weird way. Even though
Were you planning on it?
Yeah,
No, you weren't.
one day. Well, just because
God.
it is a downhill course, so you know the
It has rolling hills.
perception is like, oh, everyone's gonna PR, but
Yeah.
it seems like it
But-
was a tough day.
But that's the thing too with like running marathons, which is crazy because like, I don't know, with marathons, it's very finicky. Like you can go out there. Like I had an amazing training cycle for, Chicago Marathon. And like, you just don't know what's going to happen. You could screw up your fuel. You could get a random side stitch at like the 2K left. You can, step in a pothole. Like there's so many things that can go wrong in 26.2 miles that you have like no control over.
Yeah.
Despite how amazing your training was leading up to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am still proud of everyone that went out there. It was really cool tracking everyone. We love a good major-ish marathon.
We had a watch party, and like the watching part was kind of a disaster because honestly, anything that's not a major marathon, you just really can't even watch it. It seems like.
Which is so dumb.
I know. Me and Noah Wynn, we're talking about our friend Noah. We're talking about like there needs to be a company that, like a small business that goes to different marathons
and just films
and just like broadcasts.
Yeah, there should be like a running.
I'm sure
channel.
I'm sure. Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be really cool.
I'm sure there's like maybe an attempt that has been made at that. But
well, no, it was like if ESPN3 can show like a D3 football game, like they can show
true.
The marathon nationals,
right?
USA nationals,
an international marathon.
Yeah,
it's crazy,
like insane. But I was not actually at the watch party the whole time.
Yeah.
But I came at a perfect time because everyone was at like the 15K.
Yeah.
Which was, or 25K, 25K at that point when I got home. I went to a princess event today.
Yeah.
I got to be a princess. Just kidding. I was not. I got to meet all the princesses, but it was really cute. And I took Paul's best friend. Would you say Brian's your best friend?
Yeah, sure.
Other than me.
Yeah, he's my bestie.
But am I your best friend? He's your second best?
Yeah.
Okay. I took Paul's second best friend's, because I'm his first, daughter. So it was myself, his best friend's wife, and then their daughter, Ellie. And it was so cute. And I kept being like, oh, this is so cute. But then I was thinking to myself, so basically you walk in and there's singing, there's books, there's dancing, there's coloring, books. Princesses everywhere. And it's just a bunch of girls. There's like maybe one dad in the whole thing.
Yeah.
One or two dads.
Was there a guy in there?
There was like one or two dads in there. And I was like, it's funny because originally Ellie's mom, Maura, was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. I have these other things going on. And then afterwards we saw Santa, because Santa was in the lobby too. And I was like, I cannot picture Paul. Like,
oh, you're tired.
I'm yawning. I cannot picture Paul at this event.
No, kill me.
Like, you would not have been able to do it.
No.
A bunch of screaming little girls going, ah.
Physically, I couldn't do it.
But it also was very interesting. So in the beginning, they like, what is going on with the cats? They gave out like these beach balls to everyone. They were all hitting it around.
Yeah.
And I was like, imagine a bunch of like 3 to 5 year old boys with these beach balls. Chaos. But the girls were all sharing it and like throwing it to each other and lightly hitting it. And I was like, this is just such a different atmosphere.
Boys would be trying to pop it or like
whacking it at people.
Yeah.
Or like not sharing. And it was so, the girls were just like, oh, you want it? Here, you can have it. It was really cute. But I was like, oh.
And you are basically starting your training cycle for your marathon like this week, right?
Yeah, it was my first week. I hit 51 miles,
nice.
Which I feel like is intimidating to start at 51 miles for a 19 week training cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Because 55 miles was my first training cycle's peak week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm yawning again.
Yeah, it's bedtime.
I know. Even though it's like, it is 9:47 actually. But yeah, so it is a little intimidating. I'm kind of nervous too because I haven't had a training block during this winter where I'm like trying to get some goals in.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to be chasing that sub 3 time. I know it's going to take a while.
Yeah. You'll get there.
Yeah, I know eventually, but it's like, it's nice. And it's also really nice having a woman on our running team now who has hit a sub 3.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Nora. Because it's, Danielle and I were talking about this on our run. Like, it's nice to have someone who, like, you can, take advice from and also learn from and be inspired by. Yeah.
But.
Yeah, we've been getting some fast people joining the team lately.
Yeah, which is, it's
been
pretty cool. Yeah, I like our team. We all seem to bond really well, and there's a bunch of different paces. And I just think we're all, everyone's like just cool, like good spirits, great athletes, like different backgrounds. No,
Yep.
you're lying.
Yeah. The cat just
Frodo, you are lying.
The cat just jumped on our table.
The cat that we lost literally just is now at the start of the show.
Next weekend we'll be on the east side, Detroit.
Yep.
Right? Friday.
Yeah.
Friday we'll be in Detroit for a wedding. I'm gonna try and get this episode out early, so if any East Siders listen to it, maybe we can do like a run on Saturday morning. If anybody's free.
I got 15 miles.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
got 15, baby.
So yeah, anybody on the East Side, holler.
Hit us up.
Get a run in the morning. Maybe the We Run 313 group. I don't know where they meet.
Yeah. Also, Run Detroit.
Yeah.
Said something about that. So
sick.
Yeah. So we'll sign off because I'm so tired.
You're tired.
And we've got a cat
We've got a cat on the
needs
table.
attention, obviously. So.
All right.
Wrapping up.
Peace.
Peace out, bruh.
Later.
Later.